Welcome to my channel. So today I am coming to you with story time, and the first story in this story time series is my uterine fibroid story. So let's get started. In 2012 I had a surgery like maybe 2 weeks after my birthday, and it was to repair a previous injury that I had already had. So maybe 6 months after that, I started noticing that my stomach started to get really huge, and I'm like, I know that I'm not pregnant, so what is going on? But I took some pregnancy tests just to cancel that theory out, and I wasn't pregnant. So I was like, okay, I don't know, did they leave any instruments inside of me, any gauzes or whatever they used to do my surgery? So I didn't know. I went to my family practitioner, and she basically told me, you have uterine fibroids, because they were big. It almost looked like I was maybe about 4 months pregnant. So she felt them, and they were hard as a rock. It was as if I laid down on my back and I look at my stomach, you can see the bulge coming out. So I was like, is it really serious? I had questions. I was scared because basically they were saying that a uterine fibroid is a tumorous growth, and it acts as if it's a tumor. It continues to grow just like a tumor does. So I did a lot of research after she told me that, and found out that it can either be cancerous or non-cancerous. So I was really scared about that, being that I was so young, and I hadn't even turned 30 yet, and I have this ordeal going on. So I eventually went to see a specialist that deals with things like that, and they did an ultrasound, found out that it was 3 large uterine fibroids that was in there. And the largest one was the size of a grapefruit. So I was like, okay, I wanted to get it out, because I don't know if you guys know, but with uterine fibroids, your menstrual cycles are really, they're so painful that the pain lasts basically the whole time that your cycle is on. And I got tired of that because it was debilitating. And when my cycle would come on, I would get in a funk. I was always angry all the time because I was in so much pain. So I went to see, after I saw the specialist, and they told me what it was. Basically, what they tried to do was give me a hysterectomy. And I was just like, no, sir, I'm not having a hysterectomy, and I'm not married yet. I want to have children for my husband, and so I was just like, I don't want a hysterectomy. That is not an option for me. Is there anything else that you can do for me? And basically what they told me was no, because it's so your uterine fibroids are so, I guess what they said, advanced or something like that. They're so big in your uterus that we'll just have to take it all. And I was just like, that is not, that's the deal breaker for me. Like, I'm just not accepting that. So I went back to my doctor and I told them what was going on. So we basically was researching doctors and different things like that, and finding a really great doctor that would take my case and give me the best quality care that she could possibly ever give anyone, because I was really scared, only being maybe 28, 29 years old. And I was living, by the time that I actually finally went to her, I had been living with these things inside my stomach maybe a year and a half. And so it was taking a toll on me. I was always angry, always in pain. I started swelling. I can feel those things when they would grow. And it was, I just could not take it anymore. So when I went to her, she was like, well, there's this option that I can do. I can do a myomectomy. And basically what a myomectomy is taking out those fibroids and basically putting your uterus back together again so you can have children. Because that was one of the biggest things that I wanted to be able to come out with, was having children. So I said, okay, I can do that. I did not know what different processes it was with the myomectomy. So of course, when I went home, I did some more research. And I saw that you could have the open surgery or the morcellator. I think that's the right word. I don't know. But it's a tool that goes inside your uterus and it basically breaks up, cuts and all that stuff, all the fibroid up, and the tools are just inside your stomach rather than an open surgery. So I was like, okay, I can probably do that because I had a previous surgery where I didn't have to be cut open. So I was like, it's less recovery time and I'm okay with that. But when I did the research, more research, I saw that I read a story about a lady that had the same ordeal as me, and she wanted to not have open surgery, but to have the tools that's inside of you, the morcellator, inside and just cut it open. But found out that her uterine fibroids were cancerous, and the cancer spread it everywhere and she died. So I was petrified at that point. I was not having it, because I didn't know, no one knows at the time if your fibroids are cancerous until they take them out of you and do labs on it. So you never know if your stuff is cancerous or not. You just never know. So when I went to the doctor to get another checkup, she was like, well, I just want to let you know that we would have to do open surgery on you because your uterine fibroids are very big and your uterus is very small. And being that yours is so big, that option of the morcellator is just out of the question. I wouldn't be able to get all of them out of there. I would basically have to take apart your uterus like a puzzle and basically put it back together. So I was okay with that. Then once surgery started coming up, I was getting scared because I was like, I've never had open surgery before in my life, and I was really scared. So what she did was a bikini cut, as far as like what a woman would get for a cesarean section. She did a bikini cut, and of course I'm passed out, but she basically explained everything once I came to of what she did. She said that she did the bikini cut and basically just how you deliver a baby. That's exactly what she did. She pulled my uterus out. She had to pull my uterus out, and it was like a jigsaw puzzle. She was taking apart different things, getting this one out, getting that one out, getting another one out, and getting another one out, and another one. And so when it all boils down, I had 7 uterine fibroids. The one that was the biggest, that was pressing down on my bladder was, it grew to eventually the size of a like small melon. That's how big it was. And if you look at me, you would think like, how did all those things fit in you? But they really did. So the biggest one was the size of a small melon, and then they went gradually smaller to the smallest size being a golf ball size. So when I seen the pictures, once I was in recovery and things like that, my doctor actually showed me the pictures of my uterine fibroids, and I was like, oh my God, I never thought that it would be that many inside of me, being that when I initially got the ultrasound, it was only 3, but they were hiding behind the large one, which was, oh my God, that was crazy to me. So when I got released from the hospital, of course, recovery time is really bad for me after surgery. It is so bad. I had basically 6 weeks of recovery time, and then months after that of healing time. So the 6 weeks, I couldn't lift anything. I barely could walk. I couldn't do any exercises. I couldn't do a lot of things that I normally would do on a daily basis. I just couldn't do, being that my case was severe. Because usually women that have uterine fibroids of that magnitude and that size and that many, they usually just go ahead and just do the hysterectomy. But being that I did the myomectomy, she took apart my uterus and had to piece it all back together again. And it was very dangerous for me to do a lot of things that I wanted to do, being that I didn't want to tear open those stitches from just on the outside and on the inside on my uterus. So I had to be bedbound for a lot of the time. Eventually I got up and was able to walk, but I couldn't do a lot of things that I wanted to do. And then after the initial recovery time, the 6 weeks, I was still kind of weak to where the muscles were trying to heal up, and I would still feel the pain in my uterus and things like that. So the recovery time was really, really bad for me. I don't take that really, really good, and I kept throwing up a lot of things because of all the different medicines they were putting inside of me, all the medicines that I had to take, all the pain meds that I had to take. I was throwing it up, so I usually never took it unless I was in extreme pain. Everything came out normal. My cycles were back to normal. I'm not in pain or anything. And it was almost as if when I delivered those things, because I just feel like I delivered 7 babies. Because that's basically what it was. I was basically pregnant for a 1.5 years with those things. So when I delivered them, I was relieved. I was relieved because I wasn't in pain anymore. I wasn't hurting, and it was as if everything went back to normal. So I was super excited about that, and a lot of people were, especially my doctor, was surprised that everything went back to normal. My cycles were the same, and she was just like, okay, she really did a good job. Your cut healed really well. I can barely see it, and I'm gonna refer some people to her because she really did a good job. I would say to women, if you have a situation going on, go to the doctor, always pay attention to your body. Just always pay attention to your body. That's something that I always kind of pride myself on, just paying attention to what's going on with my body. Because my doctor told me, had I would have just left it alone and not paid attention, they would have grew more and more and more and faster, because from the initial surgery in 2012 to 6 months later, they grew so fast that it was just no slowing it down. Also, she basically told me that because of history, being that I've had them before, I would eventually get them again, and it's depending on how they are. It's no telling. She may have to do the hysterectomy this time around, because they may grow back aggressively, and at that point it's just like you've already had strain on your uterus. So to do it again, to basically take apart again and put it back together, I would have to just take it. So of course, yeah, I'm really scared about that, but I am, a very, faithful person, and I know that it's going to be okay. But anyway, with uterine fibroids, I've noticed that a lot of women have that. I just didn't think that it would happen to me. Being that I was so young, because usually you hear about uterine fibroids with older women, and they usually just have the hysterectomy. But being that I was only 28 years old, and I had 7 of those things, and don't know where they came from, how they grew so fast, or anything like that. So, I was so thankful that I had the surgery and I was able to get it out of me. You just have no idea how, if you thought of pain, cramps during your menstrual cycle, just the onset of your menstrual cycle, you have no idea the amount of pain you would be in if you had uterine fibroids the size that they were mine. It is extreme pain. I wouldn't even wish that on my worst fibroids. I would just say, if you have them, go ahead and take them out, get them checked out, make sure that they're not cancerous. I was just so lucky for them to not be cancerous, being that usually cancer grows at a very rapid rate, and my tumors, uterine tumors, fibroids, were growing at such a rapid rate. It was just almost like, okay, I think, I just hope that I don't have cancer. That was my biggest thing. So this is my uterine fibroid story. So if you guys want me to talk about anything else, I basically have a lot of stories to tell you. When I tell people my stories, they are so surprised. They was just like, you went through that? Yes, I did. I did some crazy things in my 20s. So, if you guys have any other ideas or stories that you want me to talk about, or different things that you want me to talk about, let me know in the comment section below, or message me at onlywhit@gmail.com. That's ONLY, the number 1, MSWHIT@gmail.com. Let me know. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe, because I think I have a really good story that I'm going to talk about coming up next. Yes. So don't forget to subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.